take them down after time. This is the round. It's Mana to win up the pistol here, 9-4.
Such an important kill onto the bomb planter there.
Yeah, down to the second. Had just 1 second needed out their device to plant the bomb. Had he gotten it, that round would have gone 100 Thieves' way. Didn't. The 𝙈𝙤 squad now has to fight through another Glock round. Give away the 5th here to Mana before they're able to buy up on the guns.
Rain, notorious Deagle hand in hands. He is the one that is going to be searching. He is the one that wants to open things up with the Deagle. We've seen him on Dust doing the same thing yesterday.
Let's see it all out of short. Down to Bledder, tries to die. That grenade is going to be juicy. Lots of damage coming around. Flash comes by as well. They're trying to get that bomb plant quickly. Glock's already finding Bledder. Can they get the bomb down before the rotate comes in? I think they will. Device plants this one. And now you're just looking for damage. Already round objective achieved. And you can find even more where that came from. 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗 on the second. Now 𝙁𝙤𝙧 needs one more. Can't really do it on a Glock at long range though, so he's just going to be happy with having that bomb down. No defuse kit. If there was a world in which 𝙁𝙤𝙧 had a Deagle, maybe this round could have gone a bit scary, but because he didn't, it's a 9-5 split. As 100 Thieves will be going into a full buy.
But very important round because they did plant and they are going to have enough money to invest in this round. And you can see the op coming out for Device. Now everything looks good for 100 Thieves. And of course you have to plan out what is going to happen in this round. The tactical comes out. It is the second one for 100 Thieves 𝙈𝙤.
Yeah. To prepare for the full buy, we will give you guys a bit of an update on the other streams right now. Nexus and Backclick going on down to the C stream or the D stream. I'm pretty sure is a 9-4 in favor of Nexus out here. For ENCE versus Bestia, that game just started on right now as well, and onto the D stream. Nexus and Backclick are on over to the C stream. Onto the D stream, it's Astral versus Hyper Spirit, 11-8 up here for Astral. Going to the next round, Device. Doesn't catch anyone off of middle.
Nice aesthetical fit with the gloves and the knife.
Combo, yeah.
Karambit. Nice. That's how you call it? Karambit?
Karambit, yeah.
I mean, I know Karambit, but I didn't know Karambit.
Karambit, yeah. We do have our own way of saying quite a couple of things.
Independent little.
Sure.
5-9 it is the score. Of course, you guys can see that as well. But now it is an important round because if 100 Thieves 𝙈𝙤 are not going to be able to take this one, then economically they're going to be prompting Mana Esports to get back close to that equalizer. Now it's all up to Omar right here. He cannot fall. Rain taking him down again. Him with the Deagle. He can get the most results out of that pistol, and he has shown that multiple times. Let's see what we can do with that M4S.
Oh, Device. Good catch off on mid. Already takes down the rotate. Now they know that B is quite empty. They're all coming out of short, and they forced out into short, trying to catch Device off, but he just finds the timing. Is down to the site. Is down to Bledder, already trying to find damage, and damage is down. Bledder, good for 4. One of them being his own teammates. There you go, takes them all out. 1v2 remaining, and Device has got the timing, and he's just got the 1v1, and he's going to be winning that one, baby. 100 Thieves up to double digits.
What skin is that on the op of Device?
That is the Chromatic Aberration. Is it? I think so. I might be wrong.
Oh, nice.
Probably wrong. That's That's okay. Attack timeout now out of mana. They don't really have too much cash. And they'll still force buy their way into this one. That's scary. Here's the op head-to-head. 𝙤𝙤 versus 𝙤𝙤𝙗.
Do you think players of this caliber buy their own skins, or they just receive them?
Are we talking about mana, or are we talking about 100 Thieves? Because those are two very different answers.
I'm talking about device.
𝙤𝙤𝙗, not only does he have really cool skins and really exclusive skins because they're his, but he also does get a lot of the pro players and a lot of the legends as well of the game have traders coming up to them, and the traders ask the pro players, hey, you have a game coming up, do you want to play with my skin?
What's the benefit of the trader?
They get exposure if they want to sell it, or just a really rare skin. And you know, people are going to ask, are going to say, oh, that's a cool skin, and 𝙤𝙗 is, you know, if he's ever going to be asked about it, it's like, oh yeah, it's this guy's skin.
I would never return those skins.
And that's why you're not being given them. There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, cool skins.
It's a whole community. It's a whole. It's a really cool thing to be a part of.
Not when you're poor.
Well, a lot of things can be exclusive like that. Amar, he's the one to find right out of that short engage. With the 5-7, 2 hero A1S is bought on up here now. 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗, good for one at the very least. We'll be seeing 𝙤𝙬𝙗 into the bomb site now. zyra posted up on the angle. 𝙤𝙬𝙗 looks behind, scared about to split. The smoke is on CT. They don't see anyone in B, so they think it's an A hit with a fake out device. Waiting for 𝙤𝙬𝙗 to pop, and he does now. Here's the op. They'll all be moving away, all rotating. Boy trying to deny, and he rotates late. Doesn't matter. 𝙤𝙬𝙗, very nice connection. Down to the 2v4. It's 𝙤𝙗 and zyra. Try this one out, but 𝙤𝙗 going to, you know, going for a little bit of Jane time. He's still gonna go down. So no more op into the next round out there for 𝙤𝙗. No more real guns coming through for 100 Thieves into round number 17. They don't have the cash for it as mana come back into the game.
Yeah. Imagine having like an inventory worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then you just go play in a LAN or whatever, and then, you know, you have to put in your...
Yeah, I mean... Very nice shot. There you go, 𝙤𝙤𝙗. Out on middle.
𝙤𝙤𝙗 caught some strays from us in the first half, but he bounced back since then, slightly, definitely, and he's on the right track. Double kill for him right here. Okay, I understand, 𝙤𝙤𝙗.
I mean, he has to come up right now, and he is winning a lot of his duels up against 𝙤𝙗𝙗 onto this op. Again, unexpected to be able to connect so many good shots, but this is what makes Tier 3, Tier 2 so competitive, even with this high caliber of players onto the 100 Thieves side. It's not always like they'll be winning every single duel. Even teams away like Mana can sometimes prove to be a threat depending on the day, depending on how well just the duels go. And again, I've been saying this plenty of times, but at the end of the day, Counter-Strike is an aimer's game.
This game.
You can try to, you know, macro your way out of a lot of things. Position, utilities, they all matter. What matters most is to get those kills.
And being happy, guys.
True. Maybe not for CS.
Are you guys happy? Not you.
I'm sorry. Not happy anymore.
You're allowed. You're
God.
allowed. You're allowed. It's fine.
There we go.
Okay, back into the game. You can see already the split being built up towards the B side. Now it's all about Cerber and 𝙤𝙤. And 𝙤𝙤 has been on a redemption. Ooh, I take that back.
Unfortunate there for Boy. He goes back for triple C.
Triple.
Trying to get back at the kill. Manages to get it in the end. I mean, poor 𝙤𝙤 there was just trying to reload that AWP, so can't really fault him.
Felt like in childhood when parents came back with a third one.
Well, it did land after 3. There's the lucky number. And 100 Thieves get themselves up to 11 after a really quick B exec. That just took everyone by surprise. Took us by surprise. Definitely took 𝙤𝙤 by surprise. And, well, Poi took himself by surprise there a little bit too.
It was time for some standard B split because I've seen them playing with 2 players on B right now. It is quite hard to pincer them in there. But now this time it worked because there was not real pressure coming from CT or mid or coming back onto the short angle. So this was a pretty good retake on the fact that Mana decided to instantly save once their players in B side were dead.
Indeed. So, 11-7 we go into round number 19 with a full buy on either side. 100 Thieves needing just 2 more rounds to take away their enemy's map pick. Remember, Mana going to this one at the split at 9-3. They managed to come back quite a little bit, and with that opening kill out from 𝙤𝙤, we go into this round with 100 Thieves looking to get back towards B.
Making noise. Scenario hears everything. He's already communicating everything that's going on. He saw utility coming out of lower tunnels, and he knows there's more than 1 player in there. Back up. Scenario gets the first. There's definitely more players in lower, and 𝙁𝙤 taking the second, but Amar was there from the beginning. He was by Scenario's side. Let's see. Withdrawing in that kind of situation is probably the best thing. Regrouping the troops in order to welcome the aggressiveness of 100 Thieves 𝙤𝙤. However, on the more aggressive side, as I said, is not really there's not really a deciding factor for them right now. They know indeed there is some presence in short, but they don't really know where the other players are necessarily. Expecting one in B, but short seems to be the direction that they want to exploit.
Only 𝙤𝙤 to deny. I'll post it around the corner here. It's only going to be good for 1 as he'll have to go back. Here comes the flash against the way. Good connection. Had a 𝙤𝙤 on the first. It's only Device and Syra left at a 2v3, and they know about the AWP, but there's only 20 seconds left, and as Syra dropped in towards CT, now Device has to somehow get away back in towards short. He is going to be clean for it, though, and this is an easy connection out here for Syra. Had the trigger discipline in case there was a second, but now they can start anticipating where the rest are going to be coming out from. They spot out 𝙤𝙤 in towards long as well, and Device finds the last kill to send them packing out of this round. 12-7. The map points are underway. 100 Thieves just need 1 more.
Glaive with a little pat on the back for Syra. Game recognizing game.
There you go. They did play that round very well into the 3v2, right? Device putting out the smoke, gets into it, and doesn't really peek off the back of it either after he plants. Just kind of stays into it a little bit, knowing that Syra has already managed to find the first kill on CT. Needed a little bit of pick-me-up before he could get out of the smoke, so Syra peeks out long, and he does it at the same time. Good communication out there for 100 Thieves. As Mana will be on a force by now. Trying to stay alive into the game is not going to be easy. A boost will come out here. It's a nice one for Device, but the shot will not connect.
We've seen that on Dust. It is a setup that they're using with breaking of the smoke. You can see that. I mean, analysts definitely. If I did see that, they were all over the place. But you don't have any way of knowing that that's about to happen because you're faced with the smoke. So once you're going to see Device, it's either going to be too late or he misses. That's one of the two, and he does rarely miss. 𝙁𝙤.
There you go. Nice connection out of 𝙁𝙤 indeed. It's only down to Scenario and Amar. We might have to get ready to say that this is going to be the end of that. map coming around. Amar sure finds one, goes down to 20 though. Is that going to be worth it for his HP bar, for his chances to retake on that B-bomb side? The lineup could have been there for Syra, still will take them both down and will be able to win out this map. 100 Thieves taking away Mana's Dust 2, managing to find a quick overall 13%.
And for Mana, man,
it's rough. It's a map in which Amar tried to do the most, in which 𝙈𝙤𝙣, as we mentioned, did start coming back into the second half, but it still wasn't enough. 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗, the unsung hero, I'd say here, definitely doing a lot for the team, but let's be real, if it wasn't for 𝙂 there in the beginning half, we wouldn't be getting to see a map go this one-sidedly out here for 100 Thieves. So early game did matter, and 𝙂 made it work.
definitely they had their each their own impact, right? And in the beginning of the game, it was 𝙂 definitely, and 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗 just playing those positions where he goes for the information and the space almost every time and gets results or in either information, right? And you have to give props to that because he's not necessarily the flashiest in the team, but he is results oriented, right?
Yeah.
So that is a big factor. Of course, Syra is the more of the flashy one, and 𝙂, of course, we remember that triple kill, was it, with the 5-7 on the B side for 𝙂, which prompted their second round in the first half. Now, yes, looking at the stats, 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗 was indeed exemplary in this one, and exactly what 100 Thieves wanted out of this. Now, it is just the first map. We are going to go to Inferno next, which is a little bit more strict.
Yes, closer corners, tighter angles, and faster plays necessary out of Mana to try to get anything done into that map. But remember, it is 100 Thieves' map pick, and it's going to be there for a reason. So we all do know that so far on the A stream, it's only really been 2-0s, but certainly it's the first day, I'm pretty sure, where we did have a couple of decider matchups. It's really tough to get to that third map, and right now, 100 Thieves are looking locked in, they're looking ready to go, and Mana, well, unless they redirect course and try to come back into this game, they'll be taken out of Dracula.
Yeah, it's going to be an unfortunate ending for either of these teams if they fall to the darkness. Now, it is Mana's objective to not do that because they are the closest to this kind of outcome. So they need to take Inferno. It is indeed the map pick of 100 Thieves, as Rubet, as you said, but nothing is impossible in the game of Counter-Strike, and we're waiting to see if that's going to happen.
We will see indeed. We get to see out there the impact ratings, the KDRs, everything you need to know about what just happened here onto the 100 Thieves side. 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗 doing the most out there, again, unsung hero. He was holding in for a lot of the short plays that were coming around onto the map, but also was the second man into that B-bomb side a lot of the time alongside 𝙂. So if 𝙂, would have gone down first, 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗 would be the man to trade it back. So, fundamentally, things are looking quite good here for 100 Thieves on Dust 2. Maybe it's a map we'll get to see them pick into the future, but right now, they'll just have to take a break, chill a little bit, and then start getting ready for that Inferno, which we have been talking a little bit about. Now, do I expect anything to go down differently out here for Mana when it comes down to the second map? That can be a little bit debatable, I think if Amar could keep up that pressure, Mana are still going to be in a tough environment because 𝙈𝙤𝙧𝙗 somehow loses out his ability to op as well, as he was back everybody out here with the second map of the best of three. Inferno about to come online after what we just got to witness out there. Again, Mana did try to put up their fight on their own map pick, yet it was only Amar and _𝙁𝙤 that were able to show up on the map at the end. So yeah, quick refresher out here for you if you didn't get to catch all of that. First map was a 13-7 in the way of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and it was a one-sided affair in the first half. Then, you know, not really getting up there Mana, but the bad thing is that was their map pick, right?
Yes.
So now we're going, as you said, into Inferno, which is picked up by 100 Thieves. Interestingly enough, percentage-wise, this is the best map of Mana. Not the most played. 𝙈𝙤𝙣 is by far the most played. They played 20 times in the past 3 months.
Damn.
And, well, recently, they have a streak of wins here, Mana. They have, how many is that? 7 maps in a row, won on Inferno. While 100 Thieves, they only played a couple of Infernos so far. One was against 𝙈𝙤𝙣 and at Roman Imperium, and they won 13-10. Then they played Aim Club yesterday, and it was a 13-5, a very one-sided affair.
And before that, I'm pretty sure they were also fighting some... oh, they weren't fighting some bigger names. I was remembering Heroic, right, when they went up against Bait and Parry and all that good stuff. But we'll be able to take a look on down to that Inferno in a moment and figure out how things will be going on in live on the server. I do have to say, I think, again, Poi being so consistent at this tournament is something that I hope to see more and more of out here for 100 Thieves. And I'm just waiting to figure out how things are going to be looking for 100 Thieves online, because I think at the LAN event, again, where 𝙤𝙤 has a lot more impact because he's right there with the team, where Rain and Device get to have their say because they've been here, done that so many times, you know, is going to be very important. But when you send things down and over towards online and towards bigger tournaments, who knows, maybe we're going to get to see in a couple of months 100 Thieves at IEMs, maybe at Krakow's, who knows, but overall, it's going to be a different sort of setting. It's going to be a setting in which things can still, you know, go wrong, and you will have to rely on just pure individuals. And when we're talking about pure individuals, I don't think there's a better team out here at Draculand that's got them away from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, no, it's certainly, you know, not even an uphill battle, but just, you know, getting out there and getting the points that they need to get invited to the tournaments that you were mentioning, and also play some open qualifiers here and there. If I remember correctly, I think I saw an update from Messioso yesterday that they said they are going to play in the PGL Astana qualifiers.
Okay.
So you're going to see them there as well. But that's going to be an online thing, and I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying about Poi. It is super exciting to see him do so well, because I was mentioning kind of this comparison yesterday with the time that when he was on Eyeballers, and he was good, but he was not really, you know, all that out there.
Look at,
yeah, exactly.
You know,
and I think that he's being used a lot better in this roster, and I'm very happy to see him.
Let's not say, you know, that he wasn't someone to look at either way, because he still had his moments of brilliance.
Oh, yeah.
And those moments were the ones that kind of made you look at Poi and be like, yeah, this guy can shoot. Why is he stuck where he's at? Why is he not going, you know, further up alongside what was then Eyeballers? But then Eyeballers drop Poi gets here, and somehow Eyeballers are doing a little bit better.
That's also true, yeah.
You know, it's not necessarily conflict of interest, but it's just how the game certainly goes sometimes. And that, while it's a little funny, you know, to think back on that, we do go in, I guess, to the best of both worlds, therefore Eyeballers and Poi even breaking away past. So there you have it. But with that being the case, Pop, we're seeing what these people watching us aren't. We're getting down to the game. We should be getting ready in just a moment, as everybody has gone set up to break over there between the maps. And we'll have another one at the halftime anyway, so it's not like we can't have our podcast time.
Oh yeah, well, we'll still have it for, well, not for a little longer, because I see the timer running, and there's the jump into the game. It is 100 Thieves taking on Mana, straight into a pause, as we like it. 100 Thieves.
We baited the production into thinking we were ready.
Well, we were ready. It's not on our side. 100 Thieves are going to be on the T side here. Mana, they're going to be on the CT side, and usually they actually do better on the CT side, which is not really all that surprising. While for 100 Thieves, well, I mean, played against 𝙈𝙤𝙣 was a 13-10, and then he played against Aim Club yesterday. It was a 13-5, kind of a power through the game. So again, I don't think we can figure out too much out of what they can do. But going back to, when they were playing against ENCE, I was making this point earlier today in the first best of 3 that we got to cast, and it was obviously not 100 Thieves, but it was related to 100 Thieves and ENCE, and the fact that ENCE were not allowing 100 Thieves to set up, and they were
being quite aggressive in their faces.
Exactly, and if Mana can do the same, then maybe they can overpower them. But it does come down to, obviously, how the CT side is going to be played out by Mana, as they do send 3 players to start things off towards the B site, which is not really a surprise. I mean, you would send multiple players towards B if you do have the information. Obviously, they played a game yesterday, so Mana should have some good information.
See, but this is good out of 100 Thieves, because if Mana would have done a lot of homework into 100 Thieves, they'd realize that most likely in the pistol rounds, a lot of teams just play 4 into top brackets against 100 Thieves, and they do struggle to win the rounds on Inferno. Now Mana stack up 3 on V out here, and they will be looking to just spam them down. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to the aim. So let's see, Rain down to 10 HP, trying to take Scenarii out of new quads. Will be taking on that fight. Sarah able to retrieve the USP, and down to Rain once again, looking down CT. Should be going out of the fight, won't. Still left alive for an extra second. Bledder out of church will continue, but look at the bomb. It's going down on A. It's coming in around. I think Cerber figured it out, but he already figured it out too late. Bomb down to the side. A beautiful fake out here from 100 Thieves.
It actually leaves Syra towards the B site, and Bledar has to take care of that. But Amar, he's already very close to that A site. This duel is just basically to waste time for Bledar. Or if Syra can take him down, that's even better.
This is great. This is amazing.
There we go. There's the trade, but he's miles away, and there's a kill from Amar onto Rain. But it is a 2v2. It's way too late, and it will be just a save from Mana. So 100 Thieves will be walking away with the pistol. I like the strategy, even though they got themselves technically on the B side itself. They said, okay, we got... Oh, get another kill into Bledar as well. Might just add it on top of the cherry on top.
Yep.
But they figured out, okay, we got control of the site. They're probably rotating. Let's just go back and get the bomb planted and get into good positions, because Agile was already very close to Library, but at the same time, Mana kind of expected it.
Yeah.
But Agile just lands the shot, so it doesn't really matter.
That's a very Glaive-esque round to come through. A really quick mid-round call that Rain calls in, and it's a very, very clear indicator of how quick on their feet 100 Thieves can be, into a game, and that's a really good thing to watch, and a really good thing to see. A force spike coming out of Mana now into round number 2. Grenade should deal damage out here to Poi, but it does damage to all of them, while Poi deals damage back. 5-7 onto quad. Scaly at the fight once again. This time, the B-bomb site gets opened up, but it will be a bomb plant as well. Love the fact that 100 Thieves are just pressing the issue here, just being aggressive, not giving time to really think here for Mana. And I was about to say it from the previous round, but I'll say it here again as another save comes around. This might just be an omen of the map to come here for Mana on the CT side. All these saves coming around, just 100 Thieves. Playing the macro really well is exactly why they would have picked into a map like Inferno, even if Mana do have that win streak on this map. Because you have to look at the opposition, like who did Mana beat for those 7 maps? I can bet you, maybe not an arm or a leg, but maybe a couple of fingers, that it wasn't a higher opposition than 100 Thieves.
No. So, just in order from the most recent, it's Brute here. Impulse, GW, CS the Lead, Prestige, Psychoactive, Musketeers, and Big Academy.
Musketeers, back when they were still a thing. They're not even a thing anymore.
That was on the 1st of December.
Right, see? So, been quite a little bit.
This year, they only played against Impulse, GW, and Brute.
Yeah. So, it's a bit of a step up to now find 100 Thieves now, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit better players than they're used to playing against. I think as any other team that's kind of outside the, top 100 or top 80, if you will, playing against 100 Thieves, I think is a very valuable experience and a lot of things that you can take away from. And you can kind of look at the demos after and see, okay, we could have done this better, we could have done that better. They did this to us because we did this, and so on and so forth. So I think it's still a very illuminating experience for any of the teams, which is not even like a silver lining. At the end of the day, you're still in a pretty bad spot, you know, being down a map, and right now, 100 Thieves trying to, or
succeeding into getting into these bomb sites, just pushing you down, not really giving you any space. Looking at a Blitter, imagine he comes into the second on terrain, that'd be something to watch. But yeah, it's just 100 Thieves being very, very dominant right now, starting off this T side very well with a 3-0. And see, I've learned across the years to stop trying to get ahead of myself, but it seems so easy to fall into this trap of thinking, oh, okay, 100 Thieves started off with 3 rounds. They're going to be just winning it all. They're going to be continuing this. But in reality, you know, that's a little bit of false hope that I'm putting on out there, because maybe there's a lot of you guys watching on at home as well that are 100 Thieves fans and are thinking, yeah, these players are great. They're, in theory, there should be no way they lose after this advantage, especially on the Inferno T side. But Mana could always come back here and start amazing, start thinking that, you know, they're not fighting 100 Thieves, they're fighting just a random mix, and maybe in their head something changes, they stop giving that respect, and they start playing the game that we have known Mana to play throughout the tournament. Remember, though, Bob, this is elimination, so whoever loses out here is out of the tournament for good for 𝙤𝙤𝙈𝙾.
Yeah, it is a very tough situation to be in. Obviously, Mana happy to have gone through the upper bracket, beating out Bestia, and then losing to Eternal Fire, but they could be out in just a couple of games, obviously, losing to Eternal Fire. And if they lose here to 100 Thieves, this is the buy round, though, for Mana. Oh, Scenery, the aggressive one by Poi, and another great shot by him. Double kill secured, and that could be the round itself. Mana could just go for the save, and that's it. The bomb is miles away, actually. But look how split up 100 Thieves are, actually, because they do have Agile looking for, or paying attention if there's any kind of push through apartments. And then a couple of players that are going back to retrieve the bomb. Obviously, the buddy system is very important and is very well displayed here. But the bomb will make it back into the site, and it will be planted. No doubt about it. It's no issues with that. So
yeah, but there's the Omen out there that I was talking about there for Mana. Lots of saves will be coming through on this Inferno Hell, as we've dubbed it quite a lot through the years. And something that I have picked up on out here for 100 Thieves that's very distinguishable and I feel is very good for the individuals is the fact that Agile is playing that anchor position on a lot of the small bomb sites, and at the same time, of course, usually the anchor plays a lurk angle as well on the CT side when you swap. But Syra is such a dynamic rotation player that you never quite know where he's going to be at, what position he's going to hold, especially on the CT side. On the T side, he does tend to, you know, take a step back and be that middleman a lot of the time. But after that Dust 2, it really kind of started clicking in my head that between Syra and Agile, you're going to have a very dynamic small bomb site here for 100 Thieves, which, if a lot of teams start, you know, digging into that, could be a really tough thing to try to get through, or depending on the day, a thing to also, you know, capitalize upon. Because if Agile isn't having a good day, or if Syra isn't having a good day, tough to find a day where both of those players aren't performing. By the way, if one of those guys or both aren't necessarily shooting as they should, then that entire part of the map becomes open on almost every single map that you have available. So that is something that I'm sure 100 Thieves realize, and they've made the setup according to that. They have good backups for it, but there is that 1 in 100 where, you know, Syra and Agile is going to show up and suddenly block the entire part of the map.
Well, we got both of them in A apartments for now. Agile is just the one that, you know, he's been lurking around that A site for basically the whole game so far. So we're gonna expect him to keep doing the same. Poi did fall a little early. Cerber and Kali tagged up, but Blizzard and Amar are the ones defending the A site, and that's where 100 Thieves want to attack at. getting ready to set up with the util that they still have. Plenty, I should say. A couple of smokes, a molly, a couple of flashes. That's still very good. Agile will be jumping into short. Dig gets taken down by Cerber. Device comes in with the kill onto Amar. So it's now a 2v2. Great pre-fire out of Rain. And Cali has to clutch up 1v2. Going through the smoke. Maybe not the best of ideas, but he makes it into the site. There's the headshot out of Device. And 100 Thieves will secure 5. It's still good for Mana that they take down 3 players, dealing some damage, making sure that they will have to reinvest into this. But 100 Thieves, now look, if this was a buy round, could have looked a lot better for Mana, right? The jump out of apartments, the trades were effective, but then the swing comes in and the wall bang connects through the box. But if it would have been M4s, if it would have been, you know, maybe NOP, it would have been a completely different
Even
setup
a shotgun
anyway.
into apartments, right? You start thinking about bathroom player. What if he just denied that fire push? But
At the same time, you know, it would have been a different setup at the end of the day. So,
sure.
I would love to see a shotgun into apartment, but I don't think that's all.
Look on
But
over
boy,
towards Boy. There you go. Opens up on 2, and Kaylee was the full HP player as well, right? He comes around, tries to peek around the corner, and then just a quick headshot to deny him. As Scenario was already low. Leonard, speaking of being low, is down to 5 HP, and honestly, Mana, I get them trying to call out a save right here, right now, because they'll have to. 100 Thieves. They've planted that bomb on the B bomb site 6 rounds in a row now. They forced out Mana to save at least 4 rounds out of 6.
it is kind of the curse of Inferno, right? The CTs, whenever they are at a disadvantage, they will save. But talking about disadvantages, I mean, if Poi just pushes in, gets a double kill, opens up the site single-handedly, then the round's just over then and there. And 100 Thieves, they don't have to risk their weapons anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously, they will now because they do have the money to do so, and they will try to force an eco out of Mana. And they're checking every single corner. They even left the site, but Mana's nowhere near it, so there's not going to be any danger there. Nade into pit, gets Cerber.
Oh my god, 1 HP.
He's lucky to be alive, I'm going to be honest, but he might not check pit. Oh, what a shot from Poi. That is insane. Syra gets a double, and there's 100 Thieves clearing out everything here. An attack timeout from Mana. Really very much needed. We were talking about shotguns into apartments, and one thing I vividly remember, it was not this map, because I was thinking about just shotguns in not unusual, because it's not unusual to have a shotgun towards apartments, but it just got me thinking. Klemeczka, when he was playing for Thunder Flash, Nova outside nuke holding silo. That was something else.
That was something, and I mean, whenever I start thinking shotguns, Simpulse's face just pops up into my mind all the time.
Okay.
So, you know, kind of just spamming those whenever he had the chance.
Who did we see with shotguns usually a Mag 7 in Hut?
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I'm also...
Some game last week.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway.
There you go. Amar on the off angle down middle will take down Syra. Move away from the shotguns. Let's look at the pistol. That's gonna might as well act as a shotgun. That is going to be Amar, good for 2. Just takes them away off from middle. What is this round? This is exactly how 100 Thieves lost a couple of rounds as well. Back on Death 2, it was just Amar having insane individual moments. Just peeks back on in, hit and run tactics. He takes down 1, goes around the corner, reloads, goes for the 2nd, reloads, goes for the 3rd. Sometimes just gets to be that easy. 100 Thieves taking one-on-one fights, and you'd be expecting them to win as well on those one-on-ones, but that is a half buy. 2 saves away rifles. And Amar manages to make amazing work off the back of it. 6-1 now, unless Poi has got the round of a lifetime or a tournament here to make it happen. He is 9-2. If there's one guy I'd be expecting to make it happen, would be Poi, but you have to start giving me something to believe in. That's not going to be what I thought I would be believing in. But there you go. Then again, Amar quad kill in this round. Very, very well done out here for Amar. And it really does feel like it's tough out here for Mana, but Amar is just working as a solo unit right now. There's no one on this Mana roster that's actually putting up as much impact as Amar is right now.
Well, it feels like they found the winning formula, which the one we were talking about, you know, not allowing 100 Thieves to get their things set up and looking for the fights. I mean, obviously, the 1v1s did favor Mana a little bit. They caught them as they were setting up, so it was very good. But 100 Thieves are going to be paying attention to that from here on out. So that's the thing that Mana need to take into account, that getting aggressive and looking for those fights is not going to work every single time. Syra. Oh, great shot by 𝙬𝙬, even though he gets fully flashed. Gets domed, Syra gets domed there by 𝙬𝙬, and an opening kill, more or less for free, if you will, for Mana. The flash was very good. I mean, the idea behind it was very good for 100 Thieves, but just an instant headshot is a little lucky for Syra. Let's put it like that. As 100 Thieves, they're looking to try and aggress towards B as well. 𝙤𝙤𝙀 and 𝙤𝙀. Oh, Rain, he's boosted up there. Or no, he's actually device boosted up, but Rain takes the damage. 𝙂𝙀 tries to find an opportunity, but 𝙤𝙤's back in sight. 𝙤𝙀 and CT. He has no nade, but he could just swing through the smoke. Flash is coming over. 𝙤𝙀 tries to swing. Oh, there's the head. 𝙤𝙤, a little bit damage onto 𝙁. 𝙂𝙀, in the meantime, finds 𝙤𝙤. Another nade comes through. The boost up could be enough. There's the denier of the bomb plant, but you have to dismantle the boost. It will not work a second time around. 4v3 favoring Mana.
I don't like this. Mana just gave up the bomb site completely after just one measly kill. 𝙬𝙬 comes right back around, but it's Rain and 𝙂𝙀. Last two standing into the 2v2. One goes in towards CT, starting to be aggressive. 𝙂𝙀, our in-house donk over here, just trying to be aggressive and try to take the round into his own hands, but the shots won't always work out. As Amar still left down alive, 𝙬𝙬 finally gives some helping hand out here to Amar, and Mana will be able to pick up their second round because of it.
And a tactical timeout called in by 100 Thieves here, which I completely understand. They do tend to call for tactical timeouts maybe a little early, right? Whenever things slightly start going the other way. But I think this is a good moment just because they would be out of money if they lose this round. So they want to make sure that Mana are not going to be overpowering them, and especially, you know, as they could secure a lead at halftime point, whatever the case. So let's see what 100 Thieves can cook up here, or more rather 𝙤𝙤 can cook up here for 100 Thieves and kind of give them a little bit of insight into what they could do.
I do prefer teams calling in tag timeouts earlier than later. I mean, a team that would that used to call a lot of early tag timeouts would be, in my head at least, out here into the tier 2 scene, not talking about tier 1, is Sinners. I think they call out quite a couple of tactical timeouts. They used to way more back before when they had Oscar, but even now I feel like that system is still left in case. They lose 3 rounds, they immediately call in that tag timeout. I feel like 100 Thieves do it even quicker, because they understand the power that these tier 3 teams do have when they have just a little bit of consistency. They find something that works, they're going to keep doing that until 100 Thieves come to challenge. So it can be scary until, you know, 𝙤𝙤 kind of gets in there and says, you know, boys, I can see everything from a third eye, from a third person perspective. Just go a little bit back, just try to fight them differently, and right now it doesn't seem like his words kind of got across. 𝙬𝙤 in the bar playing down from short, all of Mana trying to fight away. It's 𝙂𝙀 and Rain, last two standing, 2v5 necessary, but look at their HP bars out here, Pop. Quite low indeed. Rain down to 30, 𝙂𝙀 down to half, and 𝙂𝙀 still finds another to continue his escapades out in long. Rain last man standing, 𝙬𝙤 lines them on up. And this is going to be 𝙬𝙤's resurgence alongside 𝙬𝙬's to try to get Mana onto a victory spree.
Well, they were trying to avoid that, but I think Mana had a very good setup. 3 players in short, kind of a late player towards long, so that could have been a way for 100 Thieves if they would have been a lot quicker, maybe sneak in towards B site as 𝙬𝙤 was getting ready to peek. But he wasn't really the case. So now, with the pistols here, 100 Thieves, fast A play. I'm curious what the results of this can be, because Amar is going to drop the molly. He has to back off because he's alone. Could be overpowered by the pistols. Oh, Syra, what a shot. There we go. That's what I was talking about. Rain catches Cerber, but it's the damage from Agile. Syra takes down Ceneri, and it's all down to 𝙈𝙤 to try and cover the site with an AWP. Agile, what a headshot, and this is actually insane. The fact that 100 Thieves were struggling, winning rounds against Mana, but the pistols get the job done.
And why did the pistols get the job done? Because of the aggression that 100 Thieves just show into that A-bomb site. To be fair, again, previous round that they had a full buy-in to 100 Thieves, they ran into a fully stacked top brackets controlled site out there from Mana. They were fighting a 5v4. Instead of this time, they fought a 5v2, and effectively two individual kills. First one out of Syra on Arch, second out of Rain, out of Agile on Apartments. Opens up that bomb site completely. So they were finding less players and they were hitting better shots. But at the end of the round, 100 Thieves take everyone down. So just extremely well played. Coming through by here from the Thieves. And a nice connection from Taylor out there by the line. Won't take him down, but will dish out damage. Speaking of damage, Boy's gonna feel it too.
Taking a little bit of a peek there, Mana, to see if anyone got ahead of that smoke, but that's not the case for 100 Thieves. As once again, they do have Agile into Apartments. Could be joined by Syra to try and dish out some damage in towards the A site. Flash into short, but no one to receive it. 𝙈𝙤 at the angle there. He was very close. For now, everyone's still alive with about 45 seconds left for 100 Thieves to get their play done. Now Molly will force Ceneri back. And 100 Thieves start re-clearing Banana. Moving up with 3 players. At any moment, Poi could just back away and get the bomb on the other side of the map. So I think that's one of the main reasons why they still keep a couple of players towards A. There we go. The smoke does pull off a couple of rotations. Cerber will be alone towards the A site.
They gotta get in there. It's only down to Cerber to try to deny this bomb. Does go down. Syra instead finds the trade. They haven't had time to plant this. Oh, the smoke blew open. 𝙈𝙤 had a chance to connect onto one, but that one doesn't matter. Mana, they're saving away with 4 out here, Pop, for the last round in the first half. Mana, out of the 11 we've seen so far, I'm pretty sure they've saved at least 5 times over. That's almost 50% of the rounds. Just tells you how dominant 100 Thieves been getting themselves into those bomb sites.
I would say, you know, very dominant, but also I think Mana were taking the more safe route. Although at the same time it is Inferno, so you kind of have to go for some of the saves. What I'm trying to say is maybe a couple of those rounds could have been attempted, but I would say that the saves at the end of the day were well thought out. I mean,
sure,
it was whenever they were running out of money, whenever they needed the weapons to have something to fight with into the next round. So that's exactly what they do for this last round of the first half, just to try and get themselves a 4th round on the board. But then again, I was talking about Mana and how good of a track record they have and how they are better at the CT side, about 59% win rate compared to 51.5 on T side. So, well,
a substantial change. That's been made in the center.
They better hope their T side is going to be looking a lot better.
They hope so indeed. 𝙈𝙤 was just about to make a point about him struggling on this CT side offing, but I guess that point won't stand. He finds the first, helped out by Kaylee on the second. The Banana shut down here by Mana. They keep up the fight, but it looks like 100 Thieves will be continuing to put the pressure. Old guard activated. Rain and Device have got to figure out a way through this round. 2v3 and into the B-bomb site. You only do have Amar here on a FAMAS looking to deny. Now do remember, Rain has been taking some good notes from both Karrigan and 𝙤𝙤. We could always be seeing a quick mid-round call. Working it around. Device gets to slip the net on that Molotov. Rain checks into the old quad, or maybe he doesn't. Rain doesn't expect another player to be there. Device, last man standing, a 1v2, and a rare oversight out here from the veteran.
This is a problem. The smokes will fade. It's going to get super complicated to get the bomb planted. 𝙈𝙤 just hiding in church, and Cerberus coming in from banana.
There is time here for device. But it's
Yeah,
not
he is
infinite.
surrounded. So, take 9 in hand. Oh, and a shot from Cerber. Could have seen that headshot connecting, turning into the 1v1, and that would have been... Oh, that would have been a different story. But it is Mana with 4, 100 Thieves with 8, and that will be the conclusion of the first half. In the meantime, a lot of other matches happening at the same time. 3 matches, to be precise. ENCE won the first map against Bestia, 13-6. BetClick are leading Nexus 5-1 after Nexus won their first map, and Astral are tied up for a piece with Hyperspirit after Astral won their first map in overtime. It was actually mapping of Hyperspirit. They won Mirage 16-14.
Okay. Those games going on down there to the CND stream. Good to see that the competition is still running high.
Obviously, all of the teams that I mentioned, including also 100 Thieves and Mana, they're all playing in the lower bracket. It is elimination matches for all of those 8 teams. 4 of them will be leaving us. 4 of them will still be playing after the best of 3 is done. And interestingly enough, our next set of best of 3s is going to be both upper and lower. We're going to have upper semis and lower round 3. So we'll see exactly what game we'll see from those. But we still have a game on our hands.
Yes, we do. That'd be very exciting, though. I'm looking at that upper bracket, and I think we've got some amazing set of teams still left on down to the tournament out here. Definitely some of the expected names, but, you know, taking a look onto that one,
I would have said probably Bestia against FlyQuest instead of Eternal Fire, but again, Mana played really well against Bestia.
I mean, we have to give it to Raygon. I feel like he's having, he's not Romanian, but he's getting a home buff out here on Dracula almost every single time I get to see him.
Oh yeah, they played really well against Auramond and then against Mana, but
Wara was the best rated player in the entire tournament right now.
Yeah, and just the only thing that Bestia did lose out 2-0 to Mana, which credit to Mana, very nicely done by them.
Played it well.
But probably would have expected the winners of the previous 𝙁𝙤𝙣 to be all the way into the upper semis. They might, from what we know, they could actually, their road could end here because they're taking on ENCE, and it was a 13-6 win for ENCE. I mean, it was a one-sided affair there.
And it is ENCE after all. You know, that's not an easy team to try to take down.
You know, we heard Nilo. He said that he thinks that the grand final will be Heroic FlyQuest.
Right.
But I'm gonna be honest. I think Cybershock ENCE is just a banger of a game, and it was played in the upper bracket. 13-9, 16-13, 2-0 win for Cybershock, just narrowly managing to win over ENCE. So should be interesting if we do get to see a rematch there, or they're able to power through Heroic.
Yeah, see, this is exactly what I'm thinking. So my ideal playoff bracket here would be upper finals would be Cybershock Heroic.
Okay.
Okay. Lower finals would be 100 Thieves FlyQuest, and then the grand finals be what they may from these 4 teams.
Unfortunately, well, Heroic Cybershock will happen, but before the upper final. It is the upper semis. But yeah, it would be interesting, and there is a way we could switch some of these teams around. You know, upper final, either Heroic or Cybershock and FlyQuest, and then lower 100 Thieves or against whoever loses there. So still a bunch of games that will still have to happen up until then, and one of them is this one, 8-4 when we last left off. 100 Thieves in the lead by 4, and this pistol round could push them a little higher towards the double digits. Rain gets take down Cerber, looking for another, but he will be overwhelmed by the number of players right in front of him. Device with the USP. Can he find a multi-kill here to try and kind of help out the situation itself? And he's going to find Amar, but he's got 2 more players ready to take the duel against him. The bomb will be planted by Scenario. This is a 3v3, and Agile will be on a late flank through Banana, but he has to get through 𝙈𝙤.
Well, coming around into wave, you don't have a kit to work with if you're 100 Thieves. And there's a double man set up in towards Banana. Agile takes care of one, never expects a second right. It's way too late, but spot him at sandbags. Now you know to intake into the B site, and Device takes care of Kaylee as well. Device gets the defuse, and it's 100 Thieves on a pretty important pistol round pickup here. Continues that advantage. You can see Glaive is still kind of not used to be the guy that has to initiate those fist bumps.
Yeah, he was the one usually getting fist bumped by his coach. So
There you go.
easing into his role.
It's a process.
Well,
It gives good back rubs, though. You weren't here for that. It was giving
Does he?
back rubs away, apparently.
okay.
Rain seemed happy.
Well, there you go. Having a physiotherapist as well as your coach. Now, 100 Thieves, they're on the other side. They're the one who's with 9.
Yeah, we'll change that scoreline right around. That's okay. As we will, we go on over to Mana. Trying to push it through middle. Top rank is denied by Siren Device. Coming around, dealing damage, but still Device will spam through the smoke. Connects onto Server, leaves us to 3v2. 100 Thieves on the right side of the HUD and on the right side of the map. We'll try to retake this now. 3v2, Bledder and 𝙤𝙤 onto the Eagles respectively. They can find instant headshots, so they might have as well have played together in towards long, but apparently that's not going to happen. Still takes out Rain in the gap of the smokes though. Bledder now known. Into the site, no kit available for neither Device, but more you know about them both now. And you take care of the guy on site. 𝙤𝙤 still left alive, only 12 HP to go down to Poi's MP9. But is there time to defuse? There should be. Still, Poi finds the bomb, finds the round as well. It's double digits here for 100 Thieves, as Mana tried valiantly, yet it still wasn't enough.
Still a good effort, still a lot of damage, but will that amount to a lot? I mean, they got 4 kills. They planted the bomb. We could be seeing another force buy out of Mana. It would not be out of the realm of possibilities. And there we go. That's what they're going for. Just because they dealt that much damage. And if they manage to win this one, it's going to be an eco for 100 Thieves. So I completely agree with their decision. But getting that, you know, taking down 100 Thieves, even with a force buy here, they were close in the previous round. Can they replicate it or even get a better showing into round 15? That's the big question, as they are grouped up in mid. Could be trying a mid play. It is a boost into short. 3 players there from 100 Thieves, but long is not defended at the moment. I was expecting a molly to come through, but that's not the case. Great kills! And all of a sudden, Device has to cover all by his lonesome, as they're going to be pushing in. Device only good for 1. And instantly you see Rain and Poi turn around. If Device gets a double or even a triple, that would have been perfect, because then they can come in for the 2v2 retake. But 2v4, they're not going to go for this one. So Mana, very nicely done with that swing into short. I was expecting, well, they did check long, kind of. Didn't have information on the close angle towards the corner, but they still double peeked into short, and the headshots were just perfect. Nice find by Poi, but this is just kind of damage control because the round is already over, and it will be 5 on the board for Mana. Maybe they destabilize 100 Thieves a little bit.
I mean, 1 round could be a good catalyst, but I'd say they definitely need 2 or 3 to actually convince me that they'll be able to, you know, actually make a fight out of this on Inferno. After all, Rain and Poi do get to save away guns here, so I'm expecting 100 Thieves to still put up a fight even in this next round, but they'll talk about it, they'll call out attack timeout, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think they want to decide if they want to force up or not, because Syra's on 1550, so would not be crazy to think they're going to force up. And I see Poi dropping a FAMAS over to Device, so I think that's the plan.
Might be a plan indeed, yeah.
Yeah, Rain can drop an MP9 as well for Syra, so it's not the worst buy in the world. They are playing with a couple of SMGs, a couple of FAMASes, so it's going to be under the buy of Mana, but they can still deal quite a lot of damage, especially those MP9s, you know, into apartments. Close range duels are always going to be dangerous, and I do want to see exactly where they want to put those 2 MP9s, where they feel like they would perform best.
Probably one on the corner of Banana and then the other apartments, right? Surely Agil or going that way.
Ooh, starting 4 players B, although one of them probably just going to leave some util. The fact that Agil plays A is very smart. Obviously, he was always the lurker towards the A side, so who better to defend the A side?
He's also the anchor most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Than the guy that's just lurking around towards the A side on T side. So he has the most amount of knowledge about what he should do or how the team expects him to perform. But 100 Thieves, they kind of gamble with 4 players on the B side, and nothing's going on there so far. Just a couple of util being thrown over, but no damage dealt yet. There is a player to the right of Banana, that's 𝙂𝙤𝙤, but he is all by himself, and I don't think they have a molly anymore to flush him out. No, they do not. It's 3 smokes and a flash for 100 Thieves for a minute left. Someone's shouting. I don't know
There's
who.
happiness on the other side of the studio right now. I think one team might have just won over the other.
I think it was just an important round for what I see.
Most likely. Rain, important round here for both. Peeks on in, spots one out towards Long, sees the second, trying to push him. And most importantly of all, they spotted out the bomb. So Cyrus should have been moving way quicker than he already did, but that lurk smoke kind of made them think twice. And Cyrus still on the B-bomb site, as Mana haven't pushed up. This is Mana trying to outbrain Rain right now. Will they be able to do it? There's still 3 out on A out here for 100 Thieves. And the 20 seconds left to spare. The AK is going to go down, and it looks like Device will be able to help out. Is that enough to give 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗 the space that he needs to take him out? 10 seconds left and a 2v2 retake in from the B-bomb site. It's down to the Young Guns. It's down to the duo of potential, Syra and 𝙂 versus Cerber and 𝙤𝙤. An MP9 in the hands of Syra, already down short. 𝙂 is going to come down on a late timing fuse kit on the Swede.
I think Cerber spotted Syra in short.
Might have not. There's a timing on this. Now they know the AK got picked up. They heard that, but 𝙂 comes around in from balcony, looking to double peek. It's a good off angle there for 𝙤𝙤, but it won't be enough. 𝙂 gets the defuse, and 100 Thieves get the retake.
I really like the setup that Device and 𝙁𝙤𝙧 had on the site. It was 𝙁𝙤𝙧 on site with the MP9, obviously being the main point of focus for Mana as they were trying to come in. And the fact that he gets the kill first is very, very important, because the pressure is going to be building up that they have to move into the site and clear it. And they might overlook the fact that Device might be into pit, and that's exactly why he's able to get a kill there. Unfortunately, very first push, Rain was eliminated. I didn't exactly see. It might have been him swinging out of library and get taken out by the player in apartments. But nonetheless, 100 Thieves walking away with this one is very much important. And they start off round 17 already with some deep nades in mid. Amar. Is there going to be a flash to kind of push him through the smoke? No, at least not yet. It would have been probably a bad time. Device was looking into the wall, and if, you know, Amar comes up to him, and as he pushes through the smoke, Device will probably win that duel.
Most likely so. Speaking of Device, he's been having quite a good map out here, 13 and 10. You know, still not overshadowing 𝙂, but it's been really tough to try to do that throughout this entire tournament. So I don't know how he stays so consistent, man. Maybe he likes Bucharest. I hope so. We'll get to see them again.
Yeah, no, he's just amazing, and I think the positions that he's been chosen to play, especially entry on T side, is absolutely superb for 𝙂. He's hitting a lot of great shots, as he will do so again against 𝙂𝙤𝙧. Syra finds the initial frag onto Bledar, and Mana trying to push through short. Syra gets dinged, but there's Device and 𝙁𝙤𝙧 lining up some kills here as Mana were trying to push into the site. It is 12 on the board for 100 Thieves. 7 chances to close out this best of 3 and eliminate Mana from Draculan. And, well, Mana, it's going to be an uphill battle from here. You need 7 rounds in a row to force out OT. I mean, how he has been looking so far. I mean, 100 Thieves, not a lot of faults to be called out here on this map. I think they're just overall, they have been looking pretty consistent at this map, and well, surely a map that they do enjoy playing by the looks of it.
Yeah, well, right now, we come down on mid. Amar takes damage. 𝙁𝙧𝙧 does too, but no one falls in the end. And I do just want to remind everyone that 100 Thieves win out here. They managed to break into the top 100 of the RS, 92nd position. So there you go. 𝙂𝙤𝙧, nice timing onto Rain's flashbang there. Now without a second chance, and now 𝙂 left to wait for Device to come around CT. No op on Device this time. So running and gunning A1S, hoping connect through the smoke. Dangerously close. The boys head there as well, but dangerously close. And connected this time for Device through said smoke. Bleddered out of the fight. A 4v4 left to happen. Will be the A side hit. It's up to Syra and Agil here to deny them.
Oh, Syra. Could be just a reposition or just a quick check in case timing was on his wrong side and they swung through smoke into apartments by Agil, but he's been left to fend for himself. 30 seconds on the clock, and they're going to be coming in through short. Flash deployed by Agil, and he's still alive for the time being, but he's getting aggressed upon. Cerber takes him down, and that might be the call for a save, actually. Does seem like it. They're turning away. It is, once again, the case if Agil gets a kill or two, then that makes life a whole lot easier for 100 Thieves, but they're not going to risk it with a push into the side here, 3v4. I was a little surprised to see Syra backing away from the A side, even though they had basically no information, right? Because there were no utilities thrown, there was no fake going on towards B. But I guess it was kind of a little bit of a gamble, and it did not pay off for 100 Thieves. But the reason why they can go for those gambles is they're 7 rounds ahead. Now it's going to be 6, but obviously lose this round is not the end of the world. You're still on series point. You still need one more round to close it out against Mom.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, the kill on raid was a bit unfortunate coming through for 100 Thieves, but the one on Agil, I mean, that was the entry, that one man of the round, so. And now that I think about it, Agil is the way we would say it in English, and Agil is the way I think we'd say it more in Romanian.
It's, well, surely Agil.
Agil
is the...
Yeah, is how we would say it in Romanian.
Yeah.
I think as of the last one, we probably were more right about that one, you see.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll get a whole interview with him asking.
Yeah, because he's Portuguese, so yeah, might be Agil. He's being very agile. With that in mind, round 19. Mana. It's super complicated to be playing from like the back seat, always, right? When you're being led by the opposing team, but then again, you're not playing the level that you're used to, and you just have to adapt on the fly. And this is again something that could be mentioned for a team with players like 100 Thieves, that they can adapt on the fly just because they have the experience. Obviously, on the other side, Scenarii should have that experience. He's been around for a little bit. Might be a little bit newer players, and his teammates might have a rougher time to do that. But we'll see if they can keep it up. They did get 1. They need 6 more, as previously mentioned. Flash into short from 100 Thieves, but now they leave B. With only a single defender. Rain will be caught out by 𝙤𝙤.
Again, out there Rain around the corner with the top banana. Gets the bomb down here for Mana, and surely a 4v5 is a bit more doable than the 3v4 we got to see before. The kill onto Amar there as well. The Thieves will be trying this. Yeah, they have to retake it. They've left Cerber on the flank. They might not be expecting him. Could be a god flank here at a Cerber.
Does come down to how quick 100 Thieves are.
Takes a long way, Cerber.
If they're going to be quick pushing into the side, that's going to be a problem. Oh!
Device, he's so smart. He's checking this. He's actually managed to fend him off. But time is running out, and still the kills are coming by for the side of Mana. You're running out of time out here, and they've taken them all down almost. It's only down to Cerber and 100 Thieves. A 4v5 retake down to the nick of time. Through the skin of their teeth, they managed to bite on down and take the 13. As their own map pick is going to be going just as good as it went on the first. 100 Thieves don't break a sweat. Take Mana out.
Very, very nice retake, and it felt like Mana had the right angles, but maybe a little bit of miscommunication. It could have been a great crossfire between the player in pool and the player in dark. But at the end of the day, 100 Thieves, they prevail. Device, Poi, tied up with a number of kills, and I like that from Device as well. Obviously, Poi has been a main point of talk
Of
with
course.
him just being so consistent, but I like seeing Device also kind of come into his own, right? And
Especially on a map where he's
Yeah.
not supposed to do that, right? Inferno, sure, it's the map pick of 100 Thieves, but it's not really an Alper's Paradise, per se. So, coming into it and managing to be so cerebral about it, there comes the years of experience that we're talking about for both Rain and Device. You get to hold on to the flank when nothing's really happening on the side. There was a smoke in front of him, his teammates had to come and help him, and he thought, hell, you know what, I might as well just check behind. And he did, and he won the round because of it, down to the timer. So, very well done, but at the end of the day, there's only going to be the MVP that's going to be shown on screen right now. Poi does manage to do an amazing job of the entire tournament. 1.52 impact to come around out here for the Swede, and it's going to be another team that 100 Thieves eliminated out of the tournament.
Yeah, obviously, 100 Thieves, it was a little surprising that they were overpowered by ENCE that way, but obviously in the lower bracket, we're expecting them to make quite a dip run, and so far, 2 names that they have claimed. The first one was AIM Club, second is Mana, as you can see, and they will be facing the winner of Nexus and BetClick. That's still going on, 7-6 for BetClick. They're leading, but Nexus did win the first map. A little bit of an update on the others. ENCE against Bestia started off their second map, and ENCE started off well 4-1. And Astron and Hyper Spirit, I kept looking over to the score there. They keep being tied up. So they had an overtime on the first map, and now they could be going that way as well. But yeah, you can see all the numbers here for the whole team of 100 Thieves. It was Poi, it was Device that were in the spotlight. But I think Agile, Syra, Rain, they were having some very good moments as well. I mean, Agile on that defense on the A side again with that MP9 was absolutely superb, and he was taking attention away from his teammates, so Device could swing with the FAMAS. Overall, I mean, we always every time we saw 100 Thieves, I think we had words of praise for them.
Yeah, 100%.
Even when they were playing against ENCE, I think they were. It was I was saying about how they could be still a little rough around the edges, and they should iron those out, but they can do that by playing, and it seems like the further they go into the tournament, the better and better they get.
And the thing we're talking about into that ENCE game a lot was as well, that was the first time they actually hit some trouble. But I guess the best way to figure out if they were hitting a little bit of a brick wall would be to ask them directly. So we go straight into the interview.
We're once again back with an interview of the winners, of course. We have one THIEVES 𝙈𝙾 here. Alongside me is 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗𝙡, whom I want to congratulate first of all for pursuing a coaching career. How was the transition? Like, obviously, we have in Romania BTN, who is also a really long player, not on the same caliber as you, that's for sure. And for him, still in a rough spot to go back from playing to coaching. How did it went for you? What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's a tough decision when you have to take this, right? I mean, I had a long thinking period if this was the right time for me, because, as you know, I'm like 30 years old. I probably could have continued my career if I wanted to. Yeah, it was a rough decision, but in the end, I just felt like it was the right one for me. I could feel that I was not as young as some of these talents up and coming, and maybe really didn't feel I really felt the joy of the tactical side of things, but if you lose too many duels, at some point you will start losing interest in killing people, right?
Yeah, true. So I guess from what I heard, it's gonna be better and better with time. So you will have your conscience that not playing is actually the right choice for you. Probably you don't have it now, or not yet, but it's probably soon. I have a curiosity actually, like how much were you involved in picking the players for one THIEVES 𝙈𝙾?
I think I was pretty involved, to be honest. When I got told that we should make this team, then I knew that we already had Howie and I think Device signed. Yeah, and then the last 3 players, I was just looking through some demos and of course some statistics, some roles, all this kind of stuff, having some talks with them, and the same was with what Rain doing, and we just had a lot of talks together about who we wanted, and yeah, then we ended up with this team.
If you could tell me which was number 3, number 4, number 5 in the team.
What do you mean?
Like, when you picked them, did you like insta pick 3 of them, or did you pick one, then the second, and the third? Or you cannot say that, of course.
Ooh, I don't know. I can tell you, like, Poi, I think, was the first one we signed.
Okay.
But it's not only about like who we pick, but also about contract negotiations,
Of
all
course.
this kind of stuff. Then I think we signed Syra as the second one, and then we signed 𝙁𝙤𝙧𝙗 as the third one. But I mean, it's not because this is how we value them. This is just because of
course.
negotiations and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Thank you very much, and best of luck in the tournament. We'll be seeing 100 Thieves once again in the losers bracket with a great duel. Obviously, they are rooting for a lot of VRS points. Right now, from what I saw in the production, they are around 90, and obviously, after winning the next game, they'll probably get 80. Let's see where you will heads up. Thank you, and back to the casters.
Thank you.
Yeah, Angus pretty much right with that one.
Yep.
They're up to 90 position right here, 92nd to be exact, and they'll stand to gain quite a lot more. But this comes the big VRS fight, because the more VRS points are going to be needed to get to climb further and further up, and there is still quite a big discrepancy between 100 Thieves now and 100 Thieves maybe 50 positions up. But with that being the case, I like the fact that we did get to see and hear 𝙁𝙤𝙣 as well. You know, actually see what kind of his thought process were, and a lot of those questions I was asking myself. You know, did 𝙁𝙤𝙣 actually want to jump into the coaching world? Was this a thing that he had to think about quite a lot? Was 100 Thieves kind of built up with 𝙂𝙗𝙗 and Rain, or was it built with 𝙁𝙤𝙣, 𝙂𝙗𝙗 and Device? Like, with Rain there, of course. Like, how was the thinking process? And I think it was very nice that we got to see 𝙁𝙤𝙣 as part of all of that as well. Makes a lot of sense that they picked Poi first, because look at him go now, right? But Syra made a lot of sense out of 𝙂𝙗𝙗 as well, and then 𝙁𝙤𝙗 was a really good pickup piece out there as an anchor. But with that being the case, that is the second best of 3 done and dusted with. We're gonna have one more best of 3 out here into the A stream, so stick around for that one. We'll jump into a break and we'll be right back.